గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ అండ్ శుభ సాయంకాలం అందరికీ. నా పేరు విజయానంద్ అండి. ఐఎమ్ ఏ పీడియాట్రిషియన్ బై ప్రొఫెషన్. నేను సర్వేల్ గురుకుల పాఠశాల యొక్క పూర్వ విద్యార్థిని. ఆహ్, మనకి విజనరీ గురుకుల్ ఆలమ్ని అనేటువంటి నెట్వర్క్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ద అసోసియేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఆలమ్నీస్ ఆఫ్ రెసిడెన్షియల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్ ఇన్ ద బోత్ ద తెలుగు స్టేట్స్. They came together to form this visionary Gurukul alumni, and with aim to help the people, the current students, the past students, and also public, and trying to conduct several programs. ఆ నేపథ్యంలో ఇది మొదటి కెరియర్ గైడెన్స్ ప్రోగ్రాము, కౌన్సిలింగ్ ప్రోగ్రాము. చదువు యొక్క ప్రయోజనాలు బహుముఖం. ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఈజ్ మల్టిట్యూడ్. కానీ ఒక ప్రత్యేకమైనటువంటి ముఖ్యమైనటువంటి పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఏంటయ్యా అంటే ఉపాధి, ఉద్యోగం. సో అటువంటి ఉపాధి, ఉద్యోగం కోసం విద్యార్థులు, ప్రధానంగా గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతాల్లో ఉన్న విద్యార్థులు, రూరల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ విద్యార్థులు ఏ రకంగా దానికి ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వాలి, ఏ రకమైనటువంటి విధి విధానాలతో ముందుకు పోయి తమ జీవితంలో విజయవంతం కావాలి అని మనం తెలుసుకోవడానికి ఈరోజు మనతో ఉన్నారు గౌరవనీయులైనటువంటి పేరి మహేశ్వర్ గారు. నమస్కారం సార్.
నమస్తే సార్.
సార్ గురించి ఒక 2 వాక్యాలు. వారు ఏపీఆర్ జేసీ మరియు ఏపీఆర్ డిసి యొక్క పూర్వ విద్యార్థులు. He has got a very impressive career. In mid-20s itself he started his career and is a chartered accountant by profession, but went into a publishing side and was a publisher for 17 years for Outlook magazine. Now from 2009 onwards, sir is a CEO and also founder of Pathfinders Publishing Company and also Careers 360 magazine, which I understand is very popular and is treated as an authority in career guidance and is mentor to majority of the young adults across India. సో సార్ ఈరోజు ఈ సాయంకాలం మనతో ఉండి మనం అడగబోయేటువంటి ప్రశ్నలకి సమాధానం చేయడానికి ఉన్నారు. అయితే ఇక్కడ ఒక ముఖ్యమైన విషయం చెప్పాల్సి ఉంది. ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో మనము ఒక సార్వత్రికంగా అంటే జనరిక్ గా మాట్లాడుతున్నాము. ఒక ప్రత్యేకమైనటువంటి సెషన్ అంటే ఒక ప్రత్యేకమైన విభాగం గురించి, ఒక స్పెసిఫిక్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ గురించి మాట్లాడట్లేదు. డిఫరెంట్ అన్ని ఓవరాల్ గా సైన్స్, టెక్నాలజీ, మెడిసిన్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్. బట్ దేర్ విల్ బి ఎ స్పెసిఫిక్ allocated sessions in each field as we go along. And with that introduction, I may start asking sir few questions. And ఎవరికైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నట్లయితే మీరు క్వశ్చన్ అండ్ ఆన్సర్ దాంట్లోకి పోస్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. దాన్ని మేము చూసుకొని దానికి తదనుగుణంగా చివరిలో ఆ ప్రశ్న అడిగే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తాము. సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ సార్ టు జాయిన్ us this evening. We really appreciate your time. Sir, you are a alumni of APR JC and APR DC. How did that particular education in your life helped you to shape your career? I would like to hear a few words from you, sir, regarding that.
So I think when you study in both APR JC and APR DC, you start understanding the value of society, the kind of world that we live in, the kind of people that we live in. I've post these 2 colleges, I've met a lot of people in very elite B schools, very good engineering colleges and all. But the learning of APRJC and APRDC is more about the kind of people that we have to deal with across the spectrum, from a person who can't afford to have a breakfast with his own money to a set of people who can afford to buy anything out. So the societal spectrum that you have in terms of economic disparity, it's quite good, but you start valuing money there. Like it, thankfully, I was not that poor a person, but in APRJC I realized that people value so much money that today whatever richness I have, I'll still value the money because I know that the money that I'm about to throw away is more valuable in someone else's hands, right? So I think in APRJC and DC you learn to respect all kinds of people. You stop judging people because you don't know what is the need for a person in terms of the kind of job he wants and the kind of salary that he wants to ask for. because different people have different needs. Some people would need money, some people would need a job, some people will say I'll only do what I like. Now that is not by choice, but maybe out of compulsion, right? Some people might want to contribute to the family's financial health as early as possible, whereas some people will say no, I won't take up a job unless I like the job, kind of a thing.
Okay.
So one of the things that I learned is that you need to start respecting people and not judging them based on how they make their choices, because you don't know the compulsions based on which they made those choices.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, please carry on.
Cheppandi.
So for me, the learning of APRJC is that I've seen a world where every kind of person is there, the richest and the poorest, the kind of segments that you have, from the social side of it to the economic side of it, to the philosophical side of it.
Yeah.
And to that extent, I think you will see the world in APRJC and APRDC, which you will not be able to see when you go out of it to the metros or the cities.
Excellent. So, chala chakkaga you have described, sir. So you've come across basically a spectrum of the society you happen to see there, which allowed you to recognize and realize the importance of the money. And though you didn't have much of difficulty, and I will share the similar experience when I went to Surveil. And this is amazing. There's different types of personalities, and the most important thing is our teachers were with us. So they were all the time there to guide us. And oka vishayam I would like to add there is the environment. Ante andaram kalisi undali, kalisi chadukovali, kalisi నేర్చుకోవాలన్నటువంటి ఆ ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ తోని కొంత ఉత్సాహం ఉత్సుకత వచ్చిందని కూడా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ సార్. Sir, I would like to ask you one thing. I can see your tagline on your website, career is a life అని మీరు రాశారు. కెరియర్ అంటే జీవితం అంటేనే కెరియర్ అనేటువంటి ట్యాగ్ లైన్ పెట్టారు. కొంచెం దాన్ని విశదీకరిస్తారా? కెన్ యూ ఎలాబరేట్ ఆన్ దట్ ప్లీజ్?
So I wouldn't say Jivitame career and Japano, but I'll say it in the other way around. So both are very different, right? And the reason is simple, and in India lo entante the parents and the children, they invest everything that they have in education, right? Okay. I know people who would have sold their land to put their children into a good institution. People would have taken a loan when they can't even afford to repay that, because they believe that once the education is done, they will be able to repay out of the earnings out of that education. You know, parents who did not achieve anything would want to see their dreams being fulfilled by their children when they grow up. I've seen people, who have nothing in their hand, ensuring that the children don't suffer in terms of education, right? Career 360, you should know, the English edition was launched by President Dr. Abdul Kalam.
Okay.
And the Hindi edition was launched by Dr. Manmohan Singh, then the Prime Minister, right? Tarvata, when I was going to Dr. Manmohan Singh, there was, those days he was fighting a battle in the parliament. He was the Prime Minister, but he was fighting a battle in the parliament. And his office called me up saying, Mr. Perry, would you mind someone else launching the magazine? I said, no. And the reason is simple. These two people, the parents, invested everything that they have. And the only reason why they are so powerful is because they believed in education.
Correct.
They don't have any legacy otherwise. They're not rich people's children. They did not, throw money for education. They grew from nowhere like you, me, and everyone at APRJC, APRDC. You wouldn't even know their antecedents, but you know what they were because they believed in education, studied well, and became so powerful. One became an economist, the other became a scientist, and then they became the president and prime minister.
Yes.
So in India, the importance that parents give for children's education is far more than anything else, right? For them, it is their life. They'll put their life behind the children's education. So from that perspective, I believe that when education was being privatized, the children's lives must be ring-fenced or protected the way you protect a life. If someone were to cheat a student or mislead a student because they want to earn money, it's as good as a murder, because the dreams are murdered. And along with the dreams being shattered, then everything falls apart around them. And that is where I said, listen, my objective would be to ensure that every student in the country and beyond are so ring-fenced and protected that no institution should ever dare to cheat them. Which is where I go after people who try to cheat students, and I file cases against them. I file RTIs against them, and so on and so forth. Because it's very important. And we're also dealing with a very vulnerable section of people, right? Who will believe whatever is told to them. If someone says my college has got 100% placement, they believe in that blindly.
Okay.
And those things have to be protected against, because the college might not even have 10% placement, but they will claim 100% placement. So which is where I said in India, for most people, they live because they believe that in future they will have a great life because they study well. Your maidservant's child or your maid can say that my son would be better than your son because I believe in education. That is democratizing. The biggest tool of empowerment is education. Someone who is reporting to you, his child might be better than our child because he believes in education, right? So to that extent, I think education is very important to be protected, and no one should be allowed to be cheated because they're vulnerable. And to that extent, I say a career in Indian context is as good as a life.
Yeah. ఓకే, బ్యూటిఫుల్ సార్, చాలా చక్కగా చెప్పారు. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం ఈ గురుకుల విద్యా సంస్థల నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి విద్యార్థులను తీసుకున్నట్లయితే all will have some sort of financial difficulties. Majority would have come from rural backgrounds, and over there are Kaniganti Ramarao sir gani, Chokka Lingam garu gani, చాలా మంది పూర్వ విద్యార్థులు వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా ఈ డిఫికల్ట్ గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతాల నుంచి వచ్చి ఆ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ లేకుండా ఉంటే ఈ రోజు మనం చేసే ఈ పని చేయలేసి ఉండే వాళ్ళం కాదేమో. సో అంటే చదివే జీవితం, చదివితేనే జీవితం అనేది మీరు చక్కగా కెరీర్ ఇస్ లైఫ్ అనేటువంటి ట్యాగ్ లో చాలా చక్కగా చెప్పారు. అయితే ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి ఒక ముఖ్య ఉద్దేశం నేను నేర్చుకుంది రామారావు గారి ద్వారా అని చెప్పడం ద్వారా ఏమంటే, ఇది గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతాల్లో అంటే రూరల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ నుంచి వచ్చే స్టూడెంట్స్ కి 10th క్లాస్ నుంచి పోస్ట్ గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ వరకు మీలాంటి నిష్ణాతులైనటువంటి ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ అయినటువంటి వ్యక్తుల ద్వారా వాళ్ళకి యూ వుడ్ లైక్ టు గివ్ ఏ ప్రాపర్ అడ్వైస్. So on that note, I would like to ask a question, sir. Now, is that okay, sir? Shall we start?
Yeah, please.
So one of the questions we have here, we have a guy, we are the student, young adult, who is a 16, 17 or 18-year-old, and right at the crossroads, who doesn't even seen what different careers are. How does he go, which direction? Can you give a generic advice how and when they choose what they would like to choose, because where they don't even know what to choose, అంటే వాళ్ళు ఏది అని నిర్ణయించలేని పరిస్థితిలో ఉన్నటువంటి యంగ్ అడల్ట్స్ కి మీరు ఏం సలహా ఇస్తారు?
So I'll actually categorize this. I'll try to broaden the whole conversation at this point in time, Vijay, because I think the audience that we have is across the age groups and the education levels that we can think of, right? The first advice I'll give to students is there is a misconception that if you were to do engineering education, you will normally get a job, right? Increasingly, that's a misconception that is turning out to be a lie. You will get a job if you do engineering in a good institution. You may not get a job if you do education in a not too good institution. And I'm talking of engineering. I'll tell you broadly some numbers so that you understand this context, right? The 2005-2009 batch, which means it's a batch which came in 2005 and passed out in 2009, the total strength of that batch is about 380,000 students.
Oh.
And about 350,000 students passed out. Got placement from the campus, right? So we're talking of 380,000 students passing out in 2009 and about 350,000 students, which is about 92-93%, getting placed from the campus. The others might have started doing their own stuff also, for all that you know. The 2019, the people who passed out in 2019, it was about 1.5 million, right? That's because more number of colleges came. Within the same college, you had more number of courses. Within the course, you actually had increased intake. What was a college taking a 60 CSE intake is now taking 180 CSE intake, and so on and so forth, right? So you will actually see, if you go back to 2004 and see the number of colleges and see the number of colleges now, you would have dramatically increased. And similarly, the number of courses and the number of students within a campus in a single college, and so on and so forth. So when you actually have 1.5-1.6 million students passing out, the number of jobs grew from 350,000 to only 400,000. So the supply side is quadrupled, the demand side is not quadrupled. So you will actually see a lot of students who have done BTech but are sales managers, data entry operators, content creators, and you name it. And you will see that. And a lot of people continue to do higher studies because they could not find a job also. And some people genuinely obviously want to do higher studies. So the perception that you will get a job if you were to do engineering is wrong. And you must shy away from that. You take IIT Delhi. IIT Delhi, you remove CSE and IT departments and look at civil engineering or textile engineering. Not more than half of IIT Delhi students doing civil or textile are being placed. Not even half. Unless you understand that if you do the course which is in demand in the right college, where the companies are coming in, it is meaningless to do a BTech just because you believe that that's how it is. Because BTech is a very costly thing these days, and you must be slightly careful about that.
Okay.
Two, when you are dealing with education, keep your options open. A lot of people come and say that I want to do BTech in textile engineering. It's a good course. Is it a good course? It is a good course. Or aeronautical engineering or aerosciences engineering and all. Some of them are very, very good, right? But the more you, you go to a niche course, if that industry doesn't take off, what happens? Like right now, for example, aeronautical engineering will have a problem because the industry has gone down post-COVID.
Yes.
So what happens on that, right? But if you are a mechanical or a mechatronics or those kind of things, where even there you'll actually have some kind of a jobs in aeronautical, what happens is you suddenly broad base and say, I have more companies that I can seek out for a job. Okay. So never slot yourself into a very, very niche course, very, very specialized course, because the more specialized you are, you're cornering yourself. And if later you don't like that course or that kind of a job, or if those jobs are extinct because of the situation, that economic environment that you have, you'll get into a problem. So don't get there. So don't try to specialize. Try to keep yourself slightly broader. It can be computer sciences or mechanical and the associated field, or health sciences, which is biotech, nanotech, and those kind of things, right? Chemical engineering and all. So create, study in a cluster of, qualifications where you can broad base. Then don't slot yourself into a very narrow field, because you might be taking a big risk and it's not worth taking the risk at an undergrad level. At a postgrad level, yes, you must specialize.
Okay.
At an undergrad level, don't specialize, don't work on specialization, because there is no way that you'll stop education with just BTech. Trust me that at some point in time, you'll also do a master's.
Okay.
The third thing is, a lot of people coming from our colleges and schools, their ultimate ambition and goal is to join a government job, right? I understand that, because they've only seen and grown by seeing people with government job, using power, and they see them as very powerful. So it, typically you tend to be what you respected or you are fearful of, right? Or you want to be something that you are fearful of, right? Now, I don't have a problem if you work on the government jobs, but I've also seen people who keep preparing for civil services or bank PO or this and that for 7 years, use the last attempt possible, and then they say, what can I do, because now I've lost all my chances.
Okay.
So never get into a situation where you're preparing for a government job or any job for that matter for 6-7 years, not having a plan of action. You must give it yourself time, saying, okay, I'll try for 2 years for this job. If it doesn't happen, I move on. A lot of people want to use the last possible opportunity, and that creates a problem. And lastly, for people who are about to pass out, one big advice I'll give you: in interviews, never lie. Eppudu abaddam cheppakudadu. Because what happens is, once the interviewer gets to know that in one of the questions you lied and you're caught lying, then he's switched off, because everything else that you say after that is a lie.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So never lie. Be honest, be truthful. I'll tell you an example that I have. I was in a Pune B school trying to recruit people for my own company. And there were two sets of people that came to me, two kinds of people rather, two people. The first one, he told me that, I asked him what is his hobby. And he said, stock market chala follow avutanandi. Company chala, corporate companies chala follow avutanu. I said, oh, fantastic. I said, what is the stock market index today? What is the BSE index today? అతను అన్నాడు, సార్ ఈవెల్ చూడలేదు, బికాజ్ ఐ వాస్ బిజీ ప్రిపేరింగ్ ఫర్ ద ఇంటర్వ్యూ. ఐ సెడ్ నిన్నంతా అని చెప్పాను. నిన్న కూడా చదవలేదు సార్, బికాజ్ ఐ వాస్ ప్రిపేరింగ్ ఫర్ దిస్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ. లాస్ట్ వీక్ అంతా అని చెప్పాను, అడిగారు. అగైన్ హీ ఫాల్టెడ్. He lied, basically. Yeah. He wanted to think that, he thought that if you were to say that he follows stock markets, it's a very good proposition. But I realized that he was lying. And after that, everything that he told me, for me, is a lie. I trust on him that I keep cross-checking him of whether what he's told me is a truth or not, right? The second person that I saw, అతనితో అడిగాను, what do you see అంటే, అని నవ్వుకుంటూ, సార్ నేను ఇవన్నీ ఫాలో కాదు సార్. మరి ఏం చేస్తావు అంటే, సార్ నేను బాక్స్ ఆఫీస్ లో మూవీస్ ఎలా పనిచేస్తున్నావు అది బాగా చెప్తాను, రోజు ఫాలో అవుతాను సార్ అన్నాడు. I thought Edi hit ante he rattled out movies that were big hit with collections and this and that. I like this honesty. He's with us, and see the thing is, it's about understanding the numbers and being honest to yourself, right? So that person is still working with me at this point in time. The thing is, people are not looking for completed finished products. We're looking at with honest people with a reasonable amount of integrity and intelligence, reasonable intelligence.
Yeah.
We're not looking at geniuses to begin with as employees. Once they work in a company, in 2 years they'll develop their own skill sets and they'll move on. So in an interview, whenever you go, please don't lie. So I'll come back to you on the 4 things. Engineering doesn't guarantee a job. Don't get stuck with the government thing and keep preparing and wasting your time. You need to add something along with that. You can keep working while preparing for a government job. But so don't sit idle and prepare for a government job is all I'm saying.
Okay.
3, don't lie in an interview.
Okay.
And 4th, I think I told you something I forgot. But anyway, that's where I am.
I think you already summarized, sir. Sir, thank you very much. అయితే ఇప్పుడు కొంచెం వెనక్కి వెళ్ళి అంటే మీరు చక్కగా అంటే డిగ్రీ చేసిన వాళ్ళు, those who have finished their graduation, అలా జాబ్ గురించి అలా కాకుండా what I want you to answer for us is, like, if a young adult who wants to, because he's from the rural background, there are a lot of peer pressure. Somebody is taking MPC, somebody is taking BPC. Oh, you don't know math, that's why you should take BPC. And parents say that, Baba, we can't afford you much. You better get into a job, whichever you can. So there was the peer pressure, a financial pressure from the family. Family doesn't know what to do. So these young adults who are coming out of say high school or a intermediate or plus 12, whatever you call, how do they choose their in terms of the grouping of the subject or in terms of the whatever the career in their bit? And I think one point you already said so far was keeping it to try to be open. So can you touch upon that, sir, please?
So the simple thing is this, students who take PCM, which is math, physics and chemistry, they can study anything other than the medicine, health sciences side of it, right? It's a broad thing. I'm now talking of broader thing, which means that you've taken PCM, let's assume for a moment, but at some point in time you hate mathematics and you don't want to be an engineer, which means that you struck off the most important thing that would be an option when you're taking PCM, right? Similarly, you have commerce, which is the next stream of subjects broadly, right? So you have PCM, then you have PCB, which is all health and medical and allied sciences, right?
Yeah.
And the third one is commerce that you have. Commerce, now let's assume that I've taken commerce, but suddenly at some point in time, I realized that I don't want to be a chartered accountant. Okay. Which means again, you struck off the primary thing that people prefer commerce for, that chartered accountancy is what you want. And then you have arts. The PCM students can do everything other than health sciences. The commerce students can do commerce and, arts. Right. And the art students can only do arts, which means that he cannot do commerce. And that's how the gradation is, if you broadly look at it. So a PCM student can do everything other than health sciences. A health sciences student can do health sciences or commerce or arts. And a commerce student can do commerce and arts. And the art student can only do arts. That's a broad thing, right? At any point in time, you need to understand that each of these broad categories have more than 100, 200 qualifications and professions that one can do with.
Okay.
Right. So for example, you're doing PCM and at some point in time I say, listen, I don't want to do engineering. There are still 50, 100 more options that are open to him. He can do hospitality management. He can do hospital administration. He can do BBA. Right. And then let's assume that you're taking PCB, right? Which means, and then at some point in time, you realize you can't be an MBBS. But there are about 25 allied sciences that are there, which is B pharmacy, D pharmacy, nursing, and you have multitude of that. Then you have commerce, which has banking, finance, investments, and of course, the typical CA, ICAA, ACS, Then you have arts, which also includes, by the way, you can do foreign languages, you can do psychology, you can do history, you can do literature, and so on and so forth. In all, at Career 360 on my portal, by the end of June, we are launching the product. We have actually backlinked about 600 professions, the 6 broad category of streams that you have at a 10+2 level.
Okay.
And the reason is simple. Student can at a class 10th level, he will say, I want to be a pilot, right? But if you want to be a pilot, you must be taking PCM with a math in class 11. If you don't have a math in class 11, you cannot be a pilot.
Okay.
Because maths is important. As much as if you want to be a pharmacist, you need to have biology in class 11.
Okay.
Right? Because each of them are, in a certain sense, they're slightly broad-basing a specialization, right? But a basic minimum level of understanding of that subject must be there. Like pilot training involves a lot of mathematical, analytical skills. It involves a lot of calculation, right? So what we did was we categorized 600 professions on one side and brought it down to 6 professions. So a PCM can do about 400 of those professions. A PCB can do about 150 of those. Avanni meeku cross linkages kanipistayi. At any point in time, so if you want to be a pilot, you do PCM. From there, you do BTech in aeronautical, mechanical, or mechatronics, or a few other things. Then you do pilot training and you become a pilot. Okay. Right? And our linkages untai. So the student should, again, at any point in time, if he thinks that he is not liking certain subjects or liking certain kinds of jobs, he has a broad cluster of professions that he can move about within that range. And other range lo, నేను పైలట్ చేయలేను, నేను బీటెక్ చేయను, సో నేను పీసీఎం చేసి ఇంజనీరింగ్ చేయకపోతే ఏం చేయాలి? సడన్లీ అబౌట్ 30-40 మీకు ఆప్షన్స్ ఓపెన్ అవుతాయి. BBA being one, right? Or statistics being one, or mathematics being one, or hospital administration being one, tourism and travel is being one, being a chef being one, food and food technology being one, genomics, genetics, ఇవన్నీ చాలా వస్తాయి అన్నమాట మనకి, రైట్? సో ఎసెన్షియల్లీ ఏంటంటే మీరు కీప్ యువర్ ఆప్షన్స్ ఓపెన్. మీరు PCM అయ్యాక మీకు ఇంజనీరింగ్ నచ్చకపోతే డోంట్ వరీ అబౌట్ దాట్. దెర్ ఆర్ 100 more streams that will open up for you. కామర్స్ తీసుకున్నాక CA చేయదలుచుకో. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఐఎమ్ అన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. I was doing CA, and while doing CA, I hated auditing so much that I said I don't want to be an auditor. Now, how do you do CA and say I don't want to be an auditor? Right? Because I decided that నాకు ఈ ఆడిటింగ్ రోజు వెళ్ళేసి ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళ వౌచర్లు చెక్ చేయడం నాకు నచ్చలేదు.
Okay.
And that will happen to each one of us. At some point in time, we say, నేను ఇది చేయకూడదు, నేను చేయదలుచుకోలేదు అనుకుంటాం మనం. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాం? So I suddenly said, okay, I'm not getting into auditing, so what else can I do? Suddenly investment banking, actuarial sciences. Actuarial sciences these days is becoming a bigger and bigger thing, because every insurance company, మీకు ఒక యాక్చువరీ కావాలి. మీకు మీ వాట్ ఇస్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ క్లెయిమ్ మెజర్ చేయడానికి యాక్చువరీ అని ఒకటి ఉంది. And actuarial sciences is a big subject out there, right? So at any point in time, మీకు ఏంటంటే keep your options open, and you don't need to be అంటే బలవంతంగా ఏదో చదివి ఇది చదివాను కదా ఇదే నాకు ఉద్యోగం చేయాలి, జీవితం మొత్తం ఇక్కడే నేను బానిసగా పడి ఉండాలి అన్నది తప్పు.
ఓకే.
మీకు నచ్చకపోతే ఆ ఆక్యుపేషన్ వదిలేసి ఇంకేం ఆక్యుపేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి దాని మీద అని ఆలోచించవచ్చు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇప్పుడు మీరు యూ టేక్ హాస్పిటాలిటీ, రైట్? టూరిజం అండ్ హాస్పిటాలిటీ ఇప్పుడు పూర్తిగా పడిపోయింది బికాస్ ఆఫ్ కోవిడ్. హోటల్స్ పనిచేయట్లేదు, రెస్టారెంట్స్ పనిచేయట్లేదు, ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళినా మీకు టూరిజం మొత్తం పడిపోయింది, రైట్? పిల్లాడు హీస్ డన్ బ్యాచిలర్స్ ఆర్ మాస్టర్స్ ఇన్ టూరిజం అండ్ హాస్పిటాలిటీ. ఉద్యోగాలు లేవు. వాట్ ఆర్ ద other things that you can do? Suddenly, okay, what is the thing that tourism or hospitality teaches you? It teaches you to be very good to a customer, very hospitable to a customer, very warm to be to a customer. So suddenly, can it be a customer services executive? So you start looking at other options besides these things. So మీకు ఏంటంటే మీరు మీకు నచ్చని ఉద్యోగంలో ఉండి బానిసగా పడి ఉండడం అనవసరం. When you have a broad foundation, మీరు విత్ ఇన్ దట్ రేంజ్ ఎక్కడో అక్కడ వెళ్ళగలుగుతారు మీరు. అండ్ లేటెస్ట్ ఎలాగో మీరు మాస్టర్స్ చేయగలుగుతారు, అండ్ యూ విల్ మూవ్ ఆన్ విత్ లైఫ్. సో కీప్ యువర్ ఆప్షన్స్ ఓపెన్. డోంట్ ఫాల్ ఇంటూ ద ట్రాప్ ఆఫ్ సేయింగ్ ఐ హావ్ డన్ PCM, so I have to do only BTech, or I have done PCB, so if I don't do MBBS, then what will I do? There are like మీకు allied sciences లో పాతిగా కోర్సెస్ ఉన్నాయండి మీకు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ల్యాబ్ టెక్నీషియన్ ఉంటుంది ఒకటి. ఇట్స్ ఎ డిప్లొమా కోర్స్, రైట్? మీకు ఏమీ లేకపోతే యూ కెన్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఓపెన్ ఎ స్మాల్ ల్యాబ్ టు టెస్ట్ ఫర్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ అస్. మీరు నైబర్హుడ్ లాబ్ లో వెళ్ళి బ్లడ్ టెస్ట్ ఇస్తారు, యూరిన్ టెస్ట్ ఇస్తారు, అవన్నీ ఏంటి? వాట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఎ సెట్ ఆఫ్ మెషిన్స్. ఏదైనా బ్యాంక్కి వెళ్తే మీకు వాళ్ళు లోన్ ఇస్తారు, అండ్ యూ ఓపెన్ ఎ ల్యాబ్, అండ్ ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ స్ట్రీట్ కార్నర్ యూ కెన్ హ్యావ్ ఎ ల్యాబ్ కదా మనకి కావాలంటే, బికాస్ ఇండియా నీడ్స్ దోస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్.
So if I understand correctly, what you're trying to say is at the plus 11-12 class low, keep your options broader. One of the resources you are suggesting from Career 360 there might be available, where they can see what are the various options available, and also talking to the people in the field they are interested, maybe another option you think. And so keeping it open and also trying to know more about it. One of the problem ikkada sir ante ఈ పిల్లలకి అసలు ఈ అవకాశాలు ఉన్నాయా అన్న విషయం కూడా తెలియదు. బట్ దాంట్లో ఐ థింక్ కెరియర్ 360లో మీరు ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ తీసుకొస్తున్నారని చెప్పడం చాలా మంచి విషయం. ఎనీథింగ్ యూ వాంట్ టు సే ఆన్ దట్ సార్?
అదే బేసికలీ ఏంటంటే మీరు ఇదంతా దిస్ ఇస్ సంథింగ్ దట్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ లేబర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఉంది మనకి. దే హ్యావ్ కేటగరైజ్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రొఫెషన్స్ అండి. దెన్ ఇక్కడ నాస్కామ్ కూడా ఉంది. నాస్కామ్ ఆల్సో నాస్కామ్ అంటే సాఫ్ట్వేర్ కంపెనీస్ ఏదైతే మేనేజ్ చేస్తుందో సిఐఏ నుంచి, దే ఆల్సో కేమ్ అప్ విత్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రొఫెషన్స్. నౌ ఈ అన్ని ప్రొఫెషన్స్ కి మీకు మాకు తెలుసు. ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు బి అన్ ఆడిటర్ యూ నీడ్ టు బి సిఏ, విచ్ మీన్స్ యూ నీడ్ టు హ్యావ్ కామర్స్. అది మనకు తెలుసు బ్రాడ్లీ, రైట్? And if you want to be a linguist, then you must have literature or you must have foreign languages. Manaku telusu ivandi, right? So the thing is, మేమేం చేసాం, సింపుల్ గా ఈ 600 ప్రొఫెషన్స్ ని ఒక వైపు పెట్టేసి we said ఏ చదివితే ఏ ప్రొఫెషన్కి వెళ్ళొచ్చు అనేది మనం చెప్పుకున్నాం.
ఓకే.
అట్ సమ్ పాయింట్ ఇన్ టైం మనకు అనుకుంటుంది, ఓకే ఈ పీసీఎం చేస్తే ఈ 400 ప్రొఫెషన్లు ఉంటాయి, బట్ ఈ 200 నాకు వద్దు అనుకుంటే మిగతా 200 మీకు ఓపెన్ ఉంటాయి కదా, రైట్? సో ద ఐడియా ఈజ్ పిల్లాడికి ఆ పిల్లకి ఏదైతే నచ్చలేదో అది చేయని అవసరం లేదు, మిగతా వాటిలో ఆప్షన్ ఉంటుంది. అది మ్యాప్ చేయడానికి ఈ టూల్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఈ టూల్ పేరు పాత్ ఫైండర్. మేము త్వరలో లాంచ్ చేస్తాం. ఇది ఐఎమ్ హోపింగ్ దట్ ఐ లాంచ్ ఇట్ బై 15th of July మాక్సిమం అని ప్లాన్ అనమాట. బికాస్ ఈ బ్యాచ్ బయటకు వచ్చే ముందు చేద్దామనే కోరిక. బట్ దట్స్ వాట్ వీఆర్ ట్రైయింగ్ టు డూ.
So going further, sir, one of the students asked the question saying that, well, how can I decide that the particular career I want to choose suits to my personality? So personality matching with the career. And would you like to comment on that, please?
So బయట ఏంటంటే విజయ్, దీనికి సైకోమెట్రిక్ టెస్ట్ అని ఒకటి ఉంటుంది, రైట్?
Okay.
బట్ అక్కడ ఏంటంటే చాయిసెస్ ఆర్ వెరీ వైడ్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, నేను ఇది సైకోమెట్రిక్ చాలాసార్లు చేస్తాను నేను ఇక్కడ. ఇట్ వర్క్స్ ఇది when the student is free to choose and economically he had the freedom to choose, it works.
Okay.
For example, నేను ఆ సైకోమెట్రిక్ లో బయటకు వస్తుంది, ఇక్కడ హర్యానాలో నేను చేశాను సైకోమెట్రిక్. అది చాలా మంది అమ్మాయిలకు వచ్చింది, మీరు చాలా యు ఆర్ వెరీ వార్మ్ అండ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ గ్రేట్ స్మైల్ అండ్ యూ వాంట్ టు బి వార్మ్, సో మీకు హాస్పిటాలిటీ ఈజ్ వెరీ గుడ్ ప్రొఫెషన్ అంటుంది. నా హర్యానాలో అమ్మాయిల్ని వాళ్ళు హోటల్లో పనిచేయడానికి పంపించారు, రైట్? Now that becomes a challenge. Now let's assume for a moment that I tell someone which is sitting in Andhra that you must do something on genetics, right? అక్కడ జెనెటిక్స్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్ లేకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది? సో సప్లై సైడ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ అక్కడ ఉంటుంది. మీరు జెనెటిక్స్ చేయమంటే 2-3 ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఇండియాలో, అక్కడ వెళ్ళి చేయాలి, మీకు మెరిట్ లేకపోతే రాదు. సో మీరు యూ డోంట్ డూ ఎనీథింగ్ అదర్ దెన్ జెనెటిక్స్ అనడం చాలా తప్పు. బికాస్ వాళ్ళకి ఆ పిల్లడికి రాదు, ఆ పిల్లకి రాదు, అక్కడ అడ్మిషన్ దొరకకపోతే ఏం చేస్తారు? సో India, there is a supply side constraint and there are cultural constraints.
Yeah, agreed.
That women don't travel beyond their city unless it's the best institute, right? It's a cultural constraint that we have. So avanni pettukunte psychometric in India is a slight problem.
Okay.
Right. Because it might suggest that you do something and also suggest to you ki don't do something. Inkoti నేను చెప్తాను. నేను మీకు తెలిసినట్టుగా APR చేసి APRDC లో చదువుకున్నాను. అండ్ అక్కడ చదువుకున్న వాళ్ళు కొంచెం ఏంటంటే బిగిసి ఉంటారంటే, వాళ్ళు కాలేజ్ లో ఉండగా అగ్రెసివ్ గా ఉండరు వాళ్ళు. సో ఏంటంటే నాతో చాలా మంది చెప్పారు, మీరు బయటకు వెళ్తే మీరు చాలా కొంచెం మీరు ఇంట్రోవర్ట్, ఎక్స్ట్రోవర్ట్ కాదు, సో యూ డోంట్ గెట్ ఇన్ టు సేల్స్ బికాస్ యూ కాంట్ టాక్ అండ్ ప్రెజెంట్ లైక్ అదర్స్ అనేసి. 6 నెలలు నన్ను అలాంటి సొసైటీలో పడేస్తే నేను కూడా బాగానే చేస్తాను. ఇప్పుడు నేను బాగానే ఐ సెల్ మై సెల్ఫ్ వెరీ వెల్, ఐ ప్రెజెంట్ మై సెల్ఫ్ వెరీ వెల్. దిస్ ఇస్ ఎ కండిషనింగ్. యూ పుట్ ఇట్ పీపుల్ ఇన్ ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్. 100 మంది ఇంగ్లీషే మాట్లాడే వాళ్ళ దగ్గర మన విద్యార్థులను తీసుకెళ్లి పడేస్తే వాళ్ళు 6 నెలలు ఒక ఏడాదిలో వాళ్ళలాగే మాట్లాడగలుగుతారు. ఆ ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ వాళ్ళకి లేదు. ఇప్పుడు తెలుగు మాట్లాడతారు అంతా, సో వాళ్ళు తెలుగు బాగా మాట్లాడతారు. ఇంగ్లీషే మాట్లాడే ప్రపంచంలో వాళ్ళని పడేయండి. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు చూడండి, అమెరికాకి వెళ్ళి చూడండి, మన వాళ్ళే అంతా ఉంటారా? వాళ్ళు ఇంగ్లీష్ మాట్లాడతారా? వాళ్ళు బతుకుతున్నారా? తెలుగుతోనే బతుకుతున్నారు, ఇంగ్లీష్ మాట్లాడుతున్నారు కదా. అండ్ వాళ్ళు కూడా చాలా మంది మన కళాశాలల నుంచి వెళ్ళిన వాళ్ళే వీళ్ళంతా. సో ద థింగ్ ఈజ్, there is nothing that you cannot do. And psychometric, by the way, says that. Psychometric, na dantlo em ochindi, you're introvert, so don't take up anything which is to do with marketing, sales and business అని వచ్చింది నాకు.
అచ్చా.
ఎందుకంటే అప్పట్లో నాకు ఇంగ్లీష్ సరిగ్గా మాట్లాడడం రాదు, కొంచెం బిగుసుకుని ఉండేవాడిని, కుల్లా మాట్లాడడం నాకు చేత కాదు. ఐ వాస్ నెవర్ ఓపెన్ టు మెనీ థింగ్స్. అండ్ ఐఎమ్ ఏ ఫైనాన్స్ గై. ఫైనాన్స్ పీపుల్ ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు వాళ్ళ బుర్రలో నంబర్స్ తిరుగుతుంటాయి. వాళ్ళు టై వేసుకోవడం రాదు, సూట్ వేసుకోవడం రాదు వాళ్ళకి. నాకు రాదు అది, ప్రెజెంటేషన్ చేయడం రాదు. బట్ వన్స్ యూర్ ఇంటు ద సిస్టమ్, విదిన్ 1 year you solve it itself out. So I don't believe in psychometric, but having said that, world over, ప్రతి ప్రపంచ దేశంలోనూ psychometric is very well accepted and they do it. నా ఉద్దేశం ఇండియాలో అది పనికిరాదు because of supply constraints, cultural constraints, and the fact that we don't have a similar environment in every college or space that we study.
So in nutshell, what you're trying to say ఏమంటే, just because somebody judged or you thought particular to one profession, not necessarily correct. And also, if you by psychometric test you can know your personality, but that's not going to be the whole and soul. Also look at the other constraints, and also don't get conditioned onto one thing. I mean, I shared the same example. My weakest link when I was in surveil was English, the least marks. But I worked in English country for 11 years in the UK and New Zealand, and as you rightly said, వద్దన్న ఇంగ్లీష్ వచ్చేసింది అక్కడ. అదే అంటే మెన్షన్ ద ఇంగ్లీష్, ద నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి ఆన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ సార్. ఇప్పుడు ఈ గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతాల్లో చదువుకున్నటువంటి విద్యార్థులు, వాళ్ళ నేపథ్యంలో ద బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ దే కమ్ ఫ్రమ్, ఈ ఆల్వేస్ ఈ మనసులో ఒక ఉండిపోతుంది, నాకు ఇంగ్లీష్ సరిగా రాదు, ఐ హావెంట్ స్టడీడ్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియం, ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ టు డీల్ విత్, వెల్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు సక్సీడ్ ఇన్ మై కెరియర్, వాట్ డు ఐ డూ అబౌట్ ఇట్. అంటే ఈ ఇంగ్లీష్ అనేటువంటి ఒక భయం ఈ విద్యార్థుల్లో ఉండడము, దురదృష్టవశాత్తు ఆ ఇంగ్లీష్ ని కెరియర్ కి ప్రధానమైనటువంటి భాగం అని చెప్పేసి జనాలు ప్రచారము, ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేయడము ఒక విషయం. ఇప్పుడు దాని మీద వాట్ వుడ్ యు లైక్ టు కామెంట్, ఏమంటారు మీరు?
ఇట్ ఈస్ రాంగ్ అండి. ఇప్పుడు నా కంపెనీలో ఈ కెరియర్స్ లో ఇప్పుడు 350 మంది పనిచేస్తారండి, 350 people, రైట్? అండ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ నా అబౌట్ 250 people ఆర్ నాట్ ద బెస్ట్ ఇంగ్లీష్ స్పీకర్స్, రైట్? దే టెక్ పీపుల్. They understand how to code, they understand how to think of a product, they understand their own problems and try to create a product which will solve similar pain points that they have, right? See, each profession requires a different skill set. When you're selling something, you need communication skills. When you're analyzing something, you need analytical skills.
Agree, sir.
When you're doing something which requires meticulousness, you need that meticulousness as a skill, right? To think that one skill will overpower every other skill is wrong.
Yeah.
English రాకపోతే మిగతాది ఏది రాదన్నది, మిగతావే వచ్చు కదా. సి, మీకు ఇంగ్లీష్ రాదు, 10 విషయాలు వచ్చు, వాడుకో ఇంగ్లీష్ వచ్చు, ఇంకేమి రాదు. Now, how do you deal with that, right? So, ఇప్పుడు మీకు మ్యాథ్స్ చాలా బాగా వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, you play upon your math skills. The only request that I have is, while saying that English is not important, there is no harm in ensuring that you learn English, or you start grasping what English is all about.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? The least you can do is switch off your Telugu news channels and start watching English news channels.
Yeah.
By the way, English news channels is a bad thing at this point in time, ఎందుకంటే అందరూ కొట్లాడుకుంటూ ఉంటారు. But having said that, listen to English, listen to BBC, listen to CNN, listen to a few English channels like NDTV and all, which have a sane conversation, right? When the more you read or listen to English, it can be English movie or whatever it is, మీకు ఏంటంటే మీరు యూట్యూబ్ లో ఉంటారు కదా, వెళ్ళేసి అక్కడ చూసుకోండి. యూ విల్ యాక్చువల్లీ, ఆల్ ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ ఇస్ స్టార్ట్ వాచింగ్ ఇంగ్లీష్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్. దాంతో ఏంటంటే మీకు ఆటోమేటిక్ గా ఒక సింప్లిసిటీ తెలుస్తుంది. దాని లోపల యూ విల్ స్టార్ట్ ఫీలింగ్ వార్మ్ టు దట్ సబ్జెక్ట్, ద లాంగ్వేజ్, రైట్? అండ్ దట్ విల్ హెల్ప్ యూ అ లాట్. Read newspapers and then watch news channels. It will work for you because you read the newspaper and later when you watch it, you'll be able to relate to the two things. Because Buddhana Meru, you would have heard what has happened in Ladakh, and then you start watching a channel where you'll be able to relate to what he's saying because you can link the two things out. Absolutely. And trust me, if you do that for 6 months, it'll be very easy for you to learn English. Very, very easy.
Also.
Right. But the problem that we have is we don't make that beginning. మనం ఏంటంటే we go back to Telugu news channel as you move along. I'm not saying that don't watch Telugu news. You want to be a part of the world, expand yourself to the world, which means that you need to start with the world channels, then the Indian channels, then the local channels. If you keep continuing with మీ ప్రాంతంలో ఏ ఎమ్మెల్సీ ఇంకో ఎమ్మెల్సీని కొట్టుకుని చంపాడు అని మీరు ఎప్పుడైతే ఉంటారో దెన్ యూ విల్ నాట్ బి ఏబుల్ టు గ్రో బియాండ్ ద లోకల్ స్టఫ్. కింద మీరు యూ విల్ ఆల్వేస్ బి ఇన్ యువర్ లోకల్. నా రోడ్డు మీద ఏమైంది, నా ప్రాంతంలో ఏమైంది. ఐ డోంట్ అగైన్ సేయింగ్, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ బీయింగ్ జడ్జ్మెంటల్ బై సేయింగ్ డోంట్ థింక్ ఆఫ్ వాట్ లోకల్ ఈస్, బట్ ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ you must know what is happening in the world, you must know what is happening in the nation. Correct. And then that also gives you a perspective.
Okay.
So from both things, start watching English channels and start reading English newspapers besides whatever you're doing. And I trust me when I say this, within 6 months to 1 year, you will not be afraid of English and you'll start speaking in English.
Absolutely. So, ante as I understood, sir, ante English ముఖ్యమే గాని English ద్వారానే కెరియర్ రాదు. But at the
Absolutely.
same time, English has become the part of the society with the global market. So you have to learn the English in a. The problem event is, if I may share with you, people would like to be in their comfort zones. But unless you go into your beyond your comfort zone, into the fear zone, the learning starts. So as you rightly said, and one of the things, one of the suggestions I got, I usually, which I received and also tell people is, you read Telugu paper, same news you read English also. And the same thing you can do the Telugu and English channels. అంటే ఇంగ్లీషు నేర్చుకోవడం ముఖ్యం, కానీ ఇంగ్లీషే కెరియర్ నిర్ణయించలేదు. మీలో విషయాల్ని కూడా బాగా హాన్ చేయండి, దాన్ని బాగా చేసి ముందుకు పోవండి, బట్ ఇంగ్లీష్ కూడా నెగ్లెక్ట్ చేయొద్దు.
Absolutely, you're right. Completely.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. The another main question, sir, అంటే మీరు ఆల్రెడీ కొంత టచ్ చేశారు దీని మీద. అంటే పవర్టీ, పేదరికం, అంటే వసతులు లేకపోవడం, చదువుకోలేదు. అంటే నాకు చదువుకోవాలని ఉంది, ఇంకా ఐ వుడ్ లైక్ టు లెర్న్ మోర్ టు గెట్ ఎ బెటర్ కెరియర్, బట్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు డూ. వాట్ షుడ్ ఐ డూ? వేర్ ఆర్ ద resources? Are there any material available online, or are there a philanthropist you can help me? Can you touch upon that? I would like to progress further by education to a different career, but I am poor. That's one of the questions from the students, sir.
See, the thing is, everyone has some kind of a limitation. If you take the richest person around, his student would not be as bright as you. He would have money, but he might not be as bright as you. And if you take the poorest person, he will be very bright, but he might not have the money of the richest person.
Correct.
You go to the, when we see some of these pageants of world, you say, what do you want to be? Mother Teresa. Is Mother Teresa most powerful, or is she the most rich? She wasn't. But people used to say that I want to be Mother Teresa, right? So first of all, stop demeaning yourself that you're not rich, so you don't get an opportunity.
Okay.
It is an excuse. Anyone ఎవరైతే అనుకుంటారో నా దగ్గర డబ్బులు లేవు, నేను చదువుకోలేను అంటే, you're searching for an excuse for your failure. You're not looking for an opportunity to succeed. Right? నేను ఎందుకు అంటున్నా అంటే, most universities these days are need blind. What does need blind mean? If you qualify for the examination, they'll find a way to ensure that you're studying in that institution. Your ability to pay or not pay is independent of the fact that you'll still study in that institution. How do they do it? They'll give a part scholarship or a full scholarship. They'll give you a part loan or a full loan, but they will find a way of ensuring that you study in those institutions. I was interviewing a person from Chennai Institute of Mathematics, Chennai Mathematical Institute. It's the best mathematical institute in the country.
Yeah, you were saying yesterday, yeah.
Right. They have an intake of 50. All 50 are sponsored by Sriram Group, right? Which means that if you pass that qualification examination, everyone gets into Chennai Mathematical Institute, and there is no fee.
Okay.
Up to top 100, right? But top 100 there is no fee. So when you don't have money, the only thing that you need to do is to put in more effort,
more hard work,
to be slightly ahead of the queue. If you don't put in effort and you keep crying that you don't have money, then only God can help you. See, every handicap must be made by some other strength that you have.
Yeah.
Right? If your legs don't work, your hands should work. If your hands don't work, your head should work. But somewhere, something must make up for the handicap that you have.
Correct.
In this case, if you are economically backward, just ensure that you push yourself to study better, to get 5% more marks than what the other person gets, so that you get a scholarship.
Yeah.
And every college, every university in this country has scholarships for economically backward students. Now, it can be a 20% or a 50% or a 100%, depends on your ability and your merit and not just your need.
Okay.
Because need లో మీలాంటి వాళ్ళు 10 మంది ఉంటే వాళ్ళకి 5 ఇవ్వగలుగుతారు, మిగతా 5 50% ఇస్తారు. సో if you don't have money, don't brood, because I did my CA because I couldn't afford private education. And CA lo entante you get a stipend and there is no fee. And I can show you 100 such courses where there is no fee, there is stipend, and you can move on.
Okay.
Right? So the thing is, if I were to think in a double level, so I cannot do an MBA, నాకు MBA లో సీట్ రాలేదు, సో నేను ఏం చేస్తాను, అక్కడ వెళ్ళి కూర్చుంటాను, ఏం చదవను అంటే, that is wrong. I would have failed. I started looking for options where there is no fee, because I lost my father very early in my life. I said, what is a place where I don't have fee, but still I can learn and grow in my life? అదొక ambition ఉండాలి. So I started doing CA and I became a topper. So నేను చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే, either you can find an excuse for your failure, or you can search for an opportunity to succeed and grow.
Okay.
The choice is in your hands. Don't blame the world or the society for your failure.
Beautiful.
The first responsibility for failure is you and not the world around you.
ఎక్సలెంట్ సార్, చాలా చక్కగా చెప్పారు. అంటే డబ్బులు లేకపోవడం కొంత ఇబ్బందే, కానీ అది నువ్వు ప్రోగ్రెస్ కావాలనుకుంటే నిరోధించలేదు. దేర్ ఆర్ సెవరల్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ and you try to earn as you learn, and look for the avenues, meet people who could help you or put you in the right path. Though it is a constraint, but you can overcome with various modes and modalities.
Which is, see, what I'm trying to say is, economic constraint for you is meritorious constraint for someone else.
I'm sorry. Yeah, absolutely.
ఇప్పుడు ఒక రిచ్ విద్యార్థికి డిస్ట్రాక్షన్స్ ఎక్కువ, వాడికి టీవీ ఉంటుంది, ఓ చేతిలో బియర్ ఉంటుంది, ఇంకేదో కూడా ఉంటుంది వాడికి. నీకు డిస్ట్రాక్షన్ లేదు కదా. సో what you are lacking, he has. What he is lacking, you have. It is for you to decide how you balance these two things out.
Excellent. So చాలా చక్కగా చెప్పారు సార్. అయితే అందుకే ఒక సప్లిమెంటరీ క్వశ్చన్ ఆన్ దట్ ఆల్రెడీ వన్ స్టూడెంట్ ఆస్. సో what are your thoughts about me doing a small job while I'm looking for another career? I think you are sort of answered. Would you like to add anything more what you said already?
Depends on his whether he's in class 12th or graduation. First of all,
okay,
I would always advise that if you're a graduate, after graduation work for 2 years and then get on for further education.
Okay.
So నేను ఎప్పుడు పిల్లలు చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే, after graduation just see the world. ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళి పని చేయండి 2-3 ఏళ్ళు. You will understand the real world that you live in. And then when you do a post graduation, you will start doing a post graduation to specialize in an area that interests you, because by then you are mature, you are wise, and you exactly understand what you want to be and what you enjoy doing, right? But at a class 12 level, I would not advise that. I would advise students to do graduation, because class 12 tarvata skill sets chala important, and more importantly, to know the world around you, you must be in a network of people who you will grow with. ఇప్పుడు మనమంతా ఇప్పుడు మీరు అసోసియేషన్ పెట్టారు కదా. Ultimately, it is about a group of people who gotten together, and at some point in time, you'll also help each other, stand for each other, and assist each other, right? That network is very important. Miru IIT student, IIM student, wala alumni associations are the most important thing. You might be not the most intelligent person, but alumni association will pull you up. So don't deprive yourself of a circle of people who think alike, studied alike, and grow alike.
Okay.
So from that perspective, ensure that you do graduation. If you're in class 12, don't jump onto a job unless, of course, your family needs you to jump onto a job and start earning immediately. That obviously is an option that you have, but otherwise I would prefer that you do at least a diploma, if not a graduation.
So I mean, you can still work, but be careful. Unless it is needed, it's not recommended in the early stage, like
exactly.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. And the one other question is, mathematics is streamed to be one of the dominant factor in career decision. So I don't know how to do math well. I mean, it's not me. One of the question is asking, one of the students is asking. So would I put off because I don't know math well? Over to you, sir. And I thought you already sort of answered, but I would like to comment on that.
See, maths is difficult, and I think for me maths is difficult. So I'm a biased person in that. When I did my CA, I remember 8 subjects undeve finals lo, and okati maths and stats, meeta vedu taxation, ivanni corporate law, company law ivanni undevi. I spent half my time on maths and half my time on the other 7 subjects. Because నాకు మ్యాథ్స్ అంటే దడ, అది ఫెయిల్ అవుతానేమో నాకు బెంగ. సో ద ఫస్ట్ థాట్ ఈస్ కి నేను పాస్ అవ్వాలంటే మ్యాథ్స్ పాస్ అవ్వాలి, బికాస్ ఒక సబ్జెక్ట్ ఫెయిల్ అయినా అంత ఫెయిల్ అయినట్టే కదా. సో ఐ స్పెండ్ హాఫ్ మై టైమ్ ఆన్ మ్యాథ్స్ అండ్ హాఫ్ మై టైమ్ ఆన్ ద అదర్ 7. సో మ్యాథ్స్ ఈజ్ an issue with lot of people, and it was definitely an issue with me. But we must not confuse maths with our ability to understand logically and analyze a set of numbers. Like, I personally think that I'm one of the best financial analysts that we have around, right? Because I can analyze any set of numbers if you give it to me.
Okay.
Right. Now that happens because you understand the story behind the numbers. You know the story of how something has grown. For example, you give me a set of numbers of APRJC, entamandi ayyaru emayaru ante, I'll make a story out of that, because you should understand the story of APRJC and how they study and whatever, right? So maths is a fear psychosis for everything, but trust me that when you get into mathematics, it's a lovely subject to be a part of, because the day you start enjoying mathematics, it doesn't look like, it isn't as intimidating as it seems to be when you don't read it.
But you still feel that even without maths, there are careers exist, which you already described earlier.
Can you repeat that question, sir?
Yeah, I mean, but you still feel that there are careers exist even without maths, which
Oh
you
yes.
enumerated.
Oh yes. I think if you look at some of the things that are coming in,
Yeah.
Many of these things don't have any dependency on maths at all.
Yeah.
There is no dependency on maths at all. For example, you can go do BSc chemistry, which has very less inclination of math, though you're a PCM student.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Or something in physics, and physics koncho maths undi, chemistry ledu, biology lo ledu, zoology lo ledu.
Good.
Right. And then of course you have the entire commerce and art sections, which doesn't have anything to do with math.
So you said art section, sir. One of the questions one student would like to know, sir, I mean, it's fine arts, not just pure arts and fine arts. What about a career in fine arts? Or can it be a career, only a passion and just to just entertainment కోసము ఒక ప్రవృత్తి లాగా వృత్తి లాగా ఫైన్ ఆర్ట్స్ తీసుకోవచ్చా? Can it be a profession?
Again, this depends on the ability of the student to take certain punches. Like for example, if you look at Bollywood kani, Tollywood kani, Hollywood kani, adanta, people go stay in Chamris in Bombay or Hyderabad or Chennai or wherever for 5-7 years and still crack it. They have not died in the process, mind you. They are not starving. First, mundu extras galtaru, tarvata inke avtaru. But more than that, I think what has happened of late, Vijay, is that the social media has opened up a dramatic different world where you can create your own stuff. For example, ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఫైన్ ఆర్ట్స్ అంటున్నారు, లెట్స్ టేక్ జానపద గేయాలు, రైట్? ఎవరైనా చక్కగా జానపద గేయాలు నేర్చుకుని తన యూట్యూబ్ లో తన సొంత ఛానల్ పెట్టుకుంటే కోట్ల మంది చూస్తారు, రైట్? కానీ దానికి ప్యాషన్ కావాలి. యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ టు వర్క్ హార్డ్, యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ టు కీప్ క్రియేటింగ్ దట్ థింగ్స్. సో మీరు ఊరు వెళ్ళేసి కొత్త జానపద గేయాలు తీసి పెట్టాలి అక్కడ, and that keeps going. I'll tell you a friend of mine, atanu endante the only thing he does is ekkadaithe manchi tindi dorutundo akkada velli taste chesi dani guరించి రివ్యూ పెడతాడు, ఓ వీడియో తీసి.
గుడ్ జాబ్.
ఈ పాటికి 2000 రెస్టారెంట్స్ వి రివ్యూస్ పెట్టాడు.
ఓకే.
అండ్ ఎవరైనా ఆ రెస్టారెంట్ కి వెళ్ళాలంటే అక్కడ ఈ రివ్యూ చదివేసి వెళ్తుంటారు అక్కడ. సో నేను బెంగళూరుకి వెళ్తుంటే, అచ్చా బెంగళూరు నాకు కన్నడ తిండి తినాలంటే ఈ 6 రెస్టారెంట్స్ ఉండాలి, ఈ రివ్యూస్ చూస్తాం, తింటాం. రైట్. Now restaurants call him to say ki uchi ma restaurant tinandi and can you review it? And he gets paid for that. And YouTube also pays him because it's a review and views perugutunnayi.
Watch it.
Right. So the simple thing is, if you have the passion, and you know that you don't need to be in the rat race to earn 1 lakh rupees from to year 2, which is what the rat race is all about. Ki vaadiki inta package, నాకు ఇంత ప్యాకేజ్ వస్తుంది, వాడు ఇంత సంపాదిస్తున్నాడు, నేను సంపాదించట్లేదు. అది లేకుండా అది ప్యాషన్ అవుతే, నిజంగా ప్యాషన్ అవుతే, earning comes. See, there is no passion that will not earn you money over a period of time. It is just that in the initial phases you will not be able to earn so much money.
Takes time.
Right. For example, today నేను అంతా వదిలేస్తే, if I start writing columns, I'll earn money because my understanding of politics and society and economics is such. But that skill has been honed over a period of time.
Okay.
And that needs to be understood. So ఎవరికైనా ఫైన్ ఆర్ట్స్ ఉంటే యూ బీ ఎ డాన్సర్, ప్రతి వెళ్ళేసి ఊరూరా వెళ్ళేసి రోడ్ మీద నాటకం చేస్తారు కదా, యూ కెన్ డూ దాట్. And that becomes an occupation at some point in time where you start working for an NGO, and from there you start earning some amount of money.
Yeah.
Over a period of time, that becomes a big occupation for yourself.
Yeah.
Initially, it will be a passion, but at some point in time, you'll earn money out of it. Do you have the stamina?
Yeah.
And the perseverance?
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you. I would like to share one thing on that, sir. One of my very close friend, he did medicine from Guntur Medical College, and then he's a very good flutist from family inheritance. And he decided that, look, medicine is not for me. And he's one of the very famous flutists now, plays for even Keeravani also. And but what he says is quite a competitive field. As you rightly said, you have to show your passion, and you have to wait and give a little bit of time to turn that passion into an occupation.
Absolutely.
And you can, yeah. So I totally agree. And
no, in fact, you can be an artist. For example, you start drawing paintings.
Yeah.
And you keep exposing that on social media. At some point in time, you'll find buyers. Kotha office I wanted to buy 10 paintings. And I called a person and I went about searching for paintings drawn by young artists and who are normally students.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing is, if you keep honing your skills and keep working on it as passion, then you can earn on it. But if you think that I'm doing this fine arts because I want to earn money, it will never happen.
No. But absolutely, sir. And but one of the important things you raised and you informed all our students is, look, there are other avenues opening up for fine arts, which is the social media and digital channels. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another question is like medical field. I think I can also answer a little bit. And it takes too long to settle. What are your thoughts? They are asking, and it's maybe expensive also.
Which is right. I think, Vijay, you are the right person to answer that. But I can tell you one simple thing, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people think medical field is all about MBBS or dentistry. That's the biggest mistake that you can do if you think that medical field is MBBS and dentistry, because
Correct.
The doctors and dentists are all put together not even 1-2% of the entire population of the health sciences group that
Correct.
you have. It can be a pharmacist or a nurse or a lab technician, to you name it. ఇప్పుడు D pharmacy వచ్చింది మనకి, and hospital administration. If you think of hospital, the number of people who work across the departments, everything is a skill set in itself, right? So if you do health sciences, you can always say that I want to be a part of the health sciences, right? So మీకు MBBS రాకపోతే okay, 1 year 2 years కష్టపడతారు, 3వ సంవత్సరం just move on to the next one, and they're as equally well paying as what you would be earning if you're a doctor also, some of these things, right?
Yeah.
So I would limit myself to that MBBS is a long drawn process. It takes not just 5 years, because after 5 years you need to do an MD at some point in time. So that is a very expensive proposition. And without an MD, I think an MBBS might not work, and you would be the best person again.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. I mean, again, like you said, like other sciences, the more important thing is you need to have passion for you. You need to like medicine. Exactly. And you just can't come and do the medicine for the sake of earning money. But it does take time. But the satisfaction you get is very good. I know there are different things happening in India, but I don't want to go away from that. And one of the questions, sir, I'll move on. And what does an employer wants in a potential employee apart from the core skills from the subject? In other words, what soft skills, attitudes they would be looking, which you briefly touched before. I would like to comment on that, sir.
I think the most important thing is integrity. And integrity ante మన దేశంలో integrity ante it is associated with financial integrity, which is wrong. Integrity is that you treat the office as much as you treat your home. Correct. You treat the problems in the office as much as you treat the problems at home. మీకు మధ్యాహ్నం 12 గంటలకి ఇంట్లో అవసరం ఉంటే ఇంటికి పరిగెడతారు. రాత్రి 12 గంటలకి ఆఫీస్ లో అర్జెంట్ గా ఏదో ప్రాబ్లమ్ అయ్యి సర్వర్ క్రాష్ అయిందంటే ఆఫీస్ పరిగెత్తాల్సిందే. దట్ ఈస్ ఇంటెగ్రిటీ. You're not work beyond a point. Gone are the days when work is all about 9 to 6. Yeah. You're in the office, you're thinking of home, and at home you're thinking of office, depending on the importance of the situation.
Okay.
Right. Because intlo, if your family member, one of the family member is unwell, even sitting in the office, you will be thinking of home and you'll keep working to ensure that the family member is safe.
Yeah.
And the reverse also is true, that you might be, for example, you're an IT engineer and you're handling the entire server system, which ensures that everything works smoothly because the servers are based there. Ratri 1 gante server crash aithe em chestaru? Would you leave it there? You will rush to the office, or you will sit at home and ensure that the server is working back. Otherwise, your site crashes, right?
Yeah.
So the thing about all this is integrity, that, you need to ensure that a problem that you're answerable for at the office, you will handle it come what may at any point in time, at every point in time.
Yeah.
And integrity means, being loyal to the work. And I'm not talking loyal to the person. I'm talking about loyal to the work, right?
Yeah.
See, people who work for me don't need to be loyal to me.
Yeah.
But they need to be loyal to the work that they're doing, which means, product creators, they should not do any shortcuts. They should put in all the effort to ensure that the result or the recommendation or the prediction is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
నేను ఇందాక చెప్పినట్టుగా 600 ప్రొఫెషన్స్ అన్నాను. ఎవరికో అనుకుంటారు, అరే 600 ఎందుకు 200 లాంచ్ చేసేద్దాం అనుకుంటే ఏమవుతుంది? వాళ్ళు వచ్చి నాతో సార్ 200 లాంచ్ చేస్తామని చెప్పేస్తారు, అయిపోతుంది. I won't even know that there are 600 professions.
Yeah.
So not everything I need to know, kada. But when they come and so that is integrity. So I'm just saying that all of us as employers don't look at your, of course you need to have a reasonable amount of intelligence and smartness, but we are also looking at integrity as an individual. Which means that you would not neglect your work, you would not ignore your work, you will be friendly to the people around you, you will be a team builder, you will not be a person who keeps backbiting or politicizing everything around. So even the broad characters, which is something that we look for at every human being. Like Meeru Nenu friends avalante, we need to have a sync which is based on trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our trust lekapothe murtiga padipothundi. So we talk of integrity, trust, honesty, ivanni anamata.
So integrity, trust, honesty, and also to add communication skills, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, another worrying thing for our young adults is a concept called job security. And so how do I decide or determine which job is secured one over the other? ఏమంటారు సార్ మీరు?
ఈ మోడర్న్ వరల్డ్ లో అండి జాబ్ సెక్యూరిటీ అనేది ఇట్స్ ఏ మిత్. There is nothing called where a job is secure.
Yeah.
And మీకు గవర్నమెంట్ జాబ్ సెక్యూరిటీ కావాలంటే you don't do anything, you work for yourself. That's the only job that is secure, right? As we speak now, దేశం మొత్తం మీద, ప్రపంచం మొత్తం మీద ఎన్నో జాబ్స్ ఊడిపోతున్నాయి.
కరెక్ట్.
పోస్ట్ కోవిడ్, రైట్? ఎవరు ఏం చేయలేరు దాన్ని. You need to, companies need to survive, so they're slashing jobs. And it so happens. The thing is, you need to be working so well that the organization believes that you are needed in the organization for it to move ahead and succeed.
Okay.
So you need to work with so much of integrity that you become so important in the cogs of the organization that you will always be needed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there is nothing called job security. And job security, the entante, you get into a safety zone, and the safety zone is not good for you. Forget about the company.
Yeah.
So don't think of job security, because that makes you lazy, it makes you lethargic, and it ensures that you don't grow in your life.
Yeah.
So don't go for a job that is secure. Go for a job that brings you some kind of insecurity in you, that there is fire in your belly, because of which you start performing, and because of that you keep growing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what you are trying to say is job security should not be an issue, and actually it will not let you to go beyond your comfort zone. You try to put your little bit comfort. And one thing I would like to add there, sir, and the adaptability and acclimatization according to the situation, which will allow you to not to think about the job security.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay,
so
sir.
First of all, you must not even think of job security, because it means that you are weak in your head.
Boundly. That means I should be confident enough that even tomorrow, if this particular hospital asks me to leave, I should be able to work somewhere else.
10 మంది వచ్చి మీ వెనకపడాలండి. మిమ్మల్ని ఒక హాస్పిటల్ తీస్తే 10 మంది హాస్పిటల్స్ మీ వెనకపడి ఉండాలి. The company should be insecure that you will go. Not the other way around.
ఆ రకంగా మనం అది కావాలా.
Exactly.
So good. Thank you, sir. I think on that you slightly touched upon already, saying that there might be a lot of jobs are losing, things are changing. So one of the questions we would like to ask in the current situation, like what do you think, which jobs will flourish, which jobs will perish in coming decades, like 2030 or 2040 and so on?
So I won't talk of perishing, ఎందుకంటే that's a because you
Not
know
a right.
everything goes through a cycle. So I won't get at the perishability of it. But let me tell you what are the kind of jobs that will be much in demand moving forward.
Yeah.
I think anything to do with technology, and when I say technology, I'm saying computer sciences, artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain,
Yeah.
Internet of Things, robotics, mechatronics, virtual reality, gaming. ఇవన్నీ చాలా డిమాండ్ లో ఉంటాయి మనకు. డేటా సైన్సెస్ ఇవన్నీ. సో దిస్ ఇస్ a group of courses to do with computer sciences and mathematics, right? Analytics, ivanni, right? The other thing is health sciences. So nanotechnology, biotechnology, chemical engineering, and any of those things, you know. And of course, we're talking of everything to do with health sciences, right? Which are on the MBBS, dentistry, ophthalmology, optometry, ivanni, right? So that's another group of things that will always be in demand. The third thing is, I'm putting it in clusters, by the way, and there might be something else that I miss out. Please forgive me for that. Then you actually have the mechanical, mechatronics, robotics, and all those things which are to do with manufacturing and and shop floor, right? So you're dealing with one on the computer sciences side, the service industry, one on the manufacturing side, and one on the health sciences side. In మూడు groups పెట్టుకుంటే there'll be a lot in demand. And the other thing that you must remember is building automation. Everyone is living in secure building clusters, right? Which means that you need automation for intercom facility, cable facility, power, motor, generator, planning. Building automation is a big industry currently.
Mm-hmm.
City architecture, how do you plan a city? That's a big thing. Environment is a big thing. Increasingly, everything is to do with environmental sciences. Food technology is a big thing because increasingly everything is packaged food, right? So food technology is becoming a bigger thing. The one big thing that's opening up is geriatric care, which is essentially taking care of our old people.
Correct.
Moving forward, by 2030, you'll have 300 million people who are more than 60 in India.
Okay.
People need to take care of them. So for that, now you actually have nursing and taking care of senior citizens, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's where you actually see, I won't call them old age homes, but you actually have. So we are actually dealing with three clusters: health sciences, on the what happens on the manufacturing shop floor, and the third thing is obviously the computer sciences and technology side of it, which is the services sector.
Yeah.
In మూడు తీసుకుంటే, you will actually have an enormous thing. The other thing that is really going up now is the health side, health tourism.
Oh, yeah.
World over, you actually have resorts and locations coming up which are based only on health tourism. Like Kerala mottam, it survives only on health tourism.
Okay.
Ayurveda, most of Kerala survives on that. Meeku prati urlo oka Ayurveda hospital resort dortundi, where people go fast and all. But if you go to Thailand, Koh Samui on a place in the Koh Samui, most of them are fitness destinations.
Okay.
So you will actually have some of these things coming up dramatically. So that's where we are.
Okay. I mean, regarding to the home care, sir, not necessarily elderly looking after in one particular area like old age home, but also even at home, you need somebody to help with the.
No, which is what I'm saying. So at most places, because we are now in nuclear family, like me and my wife are working, and my mom is with me. At some point in time, I need someone to take care of her. Correct. When we've gone for work.
Correct.
Right. So actually, if you think of it, think of 10 families that where there's a senior citizen and where they can afford geriatric care. You will actually have at least 2-3 homes having a person staying with your parents when you're not around.
Absolutely. I mean, I until last year, my mother passed away last year, sir. I used this similar service.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, sir. I mean, we talked about quite a range of jobs across the spectrum. Would you like to comment, like, how would our youngsters, our young adults, would prepare for these? Like, I mean, generic terms, and ela entrance exams kani, job interviews kani, ela brief ga touch em cheyagaltara.
See, you don't prepare for a job only. You study, and then the job is an outcome. The problem is you don't make job the input.
Yeah. Okay.
The job is an outcome of what you studied, right?
Okay.
You study MBBS, you get into a hospital.
Correct.
But you can't say that, how do I get into a hospital?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
got into a hospital by doing MBBS in that sense, right?
Okay.
Or any of the health sciences thing.
Yeah.
So you should never put the job before the cart before the horse.
Okay.
The cart has to follow the horse. Like,
Yeah.
for example, if someone were to say, sir, is IAS a good job or IFS a good job? And I would argue, right? Listen, if you get IAS, please take it. If you like IFS, you take it. First, get there.
Yeah. Correct.
That's not a choice that you have. It's
Yeah.
a choice you will make when you get them.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So we are not looking at sitting here. We can't be saying that what is a better choice for me.
Okay. Okay.
You prepare for both. If you get it, then you will make the choice eventually. So now let us not put the cart before the horse. There is nothing, how do you prepare for an examination? Obviously, we all know how to prepare for an examination. With 12th class, 10th class, how are you preparing? You'll prepare similarly.
Yeah.
So you will understand what are the pattern of the examination, what are the questions that come in the examination, what are the important chapters, what are the important questions. You study the previous question papers, and that's how you crack the examination. Manakandarki ade, appearing for an examination has now become an art in terms of we trying to understand how to go about cracking an examination. But what happens post the examination is something which is a totally different story.
Basically, you're saying that you have to be a strategic learner and explore all the available resources to prepare yourself, talk to the people who have cracked those jobs or those fields. And now the resources are, if you ask me, they are overloaded. But the only thing is, I think one of the jobs, Chokalingam, Ramarao sir, through this association to say that to direct these rural background students to those resources so then they can optimize their opportunities. So now, we talked about quite a few of jobs. We touched the fine arts and different fields. And one of the questions is, one of the students is asking, well, sir, do I do a job or do I do a business? How do I decide? And because there is a dwindling market, there are jobs going away. Do you think I'm better off doing a business? Is the one question. I'll ask you a supplementary following on that.
Danta, it's about your economic ability, Andy. Right? Some of the choices depends on what our compulsions are and what our options are. Right?
Yeah.
Some people can afford to sit at home for 5 years, learn business and do business. Some people will have money to invest in a business and start business. For example, Neno, initially I had to work because I didn't have money, as I told you earlier. But once I earned money, I set up my own company.
Yeah.
Right. So the choice of whether you want to do business or you want to get into a job depends on your financial ability to actually invest in a business.
Yeah.
If you don't have the financial ability, ideally you must work for 2-3 years, learn how businesses work. So go and join as an employee in a business that you would ultimately want to start on your own. Work there, learn, because it is far better than a qualification that you'll get out of your bachelor's or master's, mind you. So if you want to be in hospitality, for example, go and work in a hotel.
Experience.
And then you learn a lot of things about it, and later you set it up. You don't need to be in a hurry about these things. But setting up a business is a choice that I would always advise students to set it up after 2-3 years of work X in a similar industry.
Yeah. So whichever business you want to do, you try to get some experience or get exposure and plan and then move forward. Yeah. So that's thank you very much. There's slightly supplementary question on that. Can I make a career in agriculture? So what are the prospects of agriculture as an enterprise?
No, I think agriculture is one of the best careers in the current times, and its importance will only grow as you move along. And when you are studying agriculture, it is not just that you need to be a farmer or anything like that. If you're a farmer, fantastic, because you can use those skill sets into your own farm. But more than that, around you, about 40% of the workforce in this entire world is working on food, farming, agriculture, and how to feed the world that is there, right? So it can be, you can work in a company which is only into food, like ITC, for example, or you can work for NGOs, or you can work for government, or you can work for yourself. So agriculture is an evergreen subject. It'll always have occupation. It'll have more and more occupation. But when you do agriculture, please do it from the right institution and learn so that you can actually execute or implement some of the learnings that you have.
Okay. So it is potentially very good career, but you need to prepare yourself and plan accordingly. Is that
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Okay, sir. So one of the questions going back to engineering, they say that well, all the engineers eventually end up doing a software job or computer science.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about doing one core specialty and doing something else? So what do you want to say about it?
So that's a demand supply issue. And, for example, I know a lot of people who've done mechanical engineering from IITs, but ultimately end up joining a software company, right? And that is how it goes. Which is where I'm saying at a undergrad level, you should have the ability to move between sectors and fields.
Yeah.
You might study something, but you might end up doing something else. For example, Nenu, if you look at me, I'm a CA, then I became a media man, and now I'm a career counselor.
Yes.
What is the linkage between the three? But the experience that where I've learned, and because I spoke to a lot of people and all, is bigger than any qualification that. So today, when I'm talking of career counseling, that's because over the last 10 years, I've been to about 500 universities, met 500 chancellors, talked to them every single day. I interview people, talk to people, and to that extent, it's more than 30, 40 years of what an education would give you in terms of understanding of the scope of education, right? So there is no, trust me when I say this, but for maybe doctors, no one would retire in the same profession where he studied in.
About roles.
Yeah.
So I mean, I understood in it does apply because I do a lot of teaching now, a lot of management stuff, little bit. So you are absolutely right. Okay, that's very nicely answered, sir. So that means you need to have a little bit of adjustability. It's not necessarily wrong thing to do. But if you love your core specialty, you excel yourself so that you can stay there. But be aware that your things can change. That's how I understood. And one of the other things that you already touched upon it. One student would like to know, sir, do I join a civil services or do I join a high-paid job? Why do people choose civil services over a high-paid job? There are some examples where people have left the high-paid job. And you already answered one of the other question is backup plan when you are preparing for civil services.
I think again, mundu high paying jobs and civil service techukomanante appudu maatladadam ane vishayam.
But again,
see, there is nothing called a high paying job. Let's face it.
Yeah. Okay.
Mano, we've been through our professions to understand that there is nothing called a high paying job waiting for you out there.
Yeah.
At some point in time, you prove yourself so much that your value keeps going up. You don't start off with, you don't have a diamond which is valued because it's mined. You have a diamond that is valued because it is shined and, cut properly.
Yeah. You work towards it.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you take wine, it's over the period of time that you actually, becomes more valuable. Otherwise, it is grape juice, right?
Yeah.
So let's not confuse the what is an outcome with what the input should be. If he thinks that the choice of whether I should be an IAS officer or a well-paying job is an input, he's wrong. He'll neither have a well-paying job nor an IAS officer.
Yeah.
So let's not confuse these things and live in a fantasy world.
Yeah, agree, sir. Totally agree. I mean, what you're trying to say is, I mean, there are reasons why people choose what they choose, but without being your input or systematic approach, don't decide your outcome.
Exactly.
Is that right to say, sir?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I mean, again, you sort of touched already. How does the COVID pandemic affect the job market, and does it influence the mainly MNC jobs?
So we should look at it as MNC or non-MNC, Vijay. The thing that it'll happen is that technology-driven jobs will grow and health sciences related jobs will grow. I think the world will invest more in health sciences. The world will invest more in environment and forests and those kind of things, because suddenly the importance of clean environment and all would work, and the world will grow a lot more in technology spaces. I think luxury and those kind of things will suffer a bit. That's my opinion, and I'm hoping that that's what it will be. So my opinion is that anything to do with computer sciences, anything to do with health sciences would be the in thing for the future.
So I mean, you nicely answered those questions, sir, and thank you very much. But what I would like to do is now take up some questions which are already been posed. Some of the students will ask, I think, directly to ask the questions, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so let's allow one girl from the APRS school, Lavanya, to ask a question directly.
Okay.
Sir?
Cheppamma.
You can ask him.
Sir, I am Lavanya from APRS Vijayanagram, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Now I am studying 10th class, sir.
Oh no.
I would like to become an IAS officer in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Would I know what are the things that I have to do from now, sir?
రోజు న్యూస్ చూడమని చెప్పను, న్యూస్ చదవని చెప్తాను. అండ్ జస్ట్ గో బియాండ్ ఈనాడు అండ్ సాక్షి. ఐ థింక్ ఇఫ్ పాసిబుల్ మీరు హిందూ న్యూస్ పేపర్ వస్తే అది తెప్పించుకోండి ఇంటికి, రోజు చదవండి అది.
Okay, sir.
Don't miss a single day of that, and keep following what is happening in the world. Because there are a lot of good resources which are free in the world, right? ప్రస్తుతానికైతే నేను హిందూ న్యూస్ పేపర్ చదవమంటాను, because you will start grasping certain things of what is happening in the world. Slowly you must move towards Economist and a magazine. There are some information sources that are very, very credible. So adi follow kavadam modatal. But mundu first 2 years మీరు 10th చదువుతారు కనుక I don't want to extend beyond a point. మీరు 10th చదువుతున్నందుకు just subscribe to the Hindu newspaper and రోజు చదవండి.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Amma.
So we have another student, Shekhar, from APRJC. Shekhar, can you go ahead?
Good evening, sir.
చెప్పండి అమ్మా.
This is Shekhar from APRJC Nimmakuru.
చెప్పండి అమ్మా.
So I competed in the second year. I want to become an income tax officer.
You're right now doing computer sciences, sir?
Yes, sir, I choose CEC group, sir.
ఏదమ్మా, sorry?
Sir, I want to become an income tax officer, sir.
But what are you studying right now?
I competed in the second year, sir.
Inter second year.
Okay.
I just want to understand the thought process, Shekhar. Why do you want to become an income tax officer?
Sir, because of I want to remove corruption, sir.
Okay. So income tax లో కరప్షన్ ఉందని నువ్వు ఒప్పుకుంటున్నావా?
Yes, sir.
అచ్చా, ఉందా? నువ్వు ఎంత కట్టేవని ట్యాక్స్?
No, sir.
మరి నీకెలా తెలుసు కరప్షన్ ఉందనేసి?
Sir.
సినిమా చూసావా?
No, sir. I studied newspaper, sir.
అచ్చా. See, income tax officer కావాలంటే you are actually essentially preparing, Shekhar, for IAS, IRS, IPS, right? Which is UPSC, right?
Okay.
So మీరు చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే you are looking at preparing for UPSC to join either if the option is given, you will take IRS as an option, right? And we all know what you must do if you want to crack UPSC, right? That you need to be very well versed with 3 or 4 subjects, and you need to be aware in terms of your knowledge about the world and the country in greater detail, right? So that's how you'll go about it. And let me tell you, Shekhar, that the first objective of yours must be to do your graduation well.
Okay, sir.
Right? And no 12th class lo unna andukosam cheptunnanu, when you're taking up graduation, take up those subjects that will help you in your UPSC dreams, and ideally study in those universities where there are more UPSC candidates that are passing out. Like Central University kelte meeku chances untayi akkada. Delhi University ki vaste konచెం JNU lo vaste chances untayi, because here most students are preparing for UPSC, so you actually have a similar set of people who will keep advising you, and you can study together, right? But my opinion is that once you crack that examination, you might want to be an IAS officer and not an IRS officer. That's a great possibility, but that is still good for you.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Amma.
There is one general question that somebody has asked online. They are asking, like, we did some mistakes in career choices and we ended up with nothing by 30. So what are the corrective actions that we can do beyond 30 to make our future at least better?
See, increasingly, Vijay, I think Hari has asked this question. So
Hari is asking.
okay.
Yeah.
The possibility of changing track in your career has become slightly easier now than what it was earlier. For example, recently I was coming on a flight from Chennai to Delhi, and there was this girl from IIT Roorkee who's doing an MBA in IIT Roorkee, who spoke to me, and she said, listen, she initially thought that she wants to work for a finance company and joined Infosys, because the peer pressure was Infosys is a better company, it pays better and all, and then she joined Infosys because they offered her the product called Finacle. Finacle is a financial product which every bank uses these days. But once she went there, she realized that it is not exactly a finance job, but it's actually a technology job. And she was interested in finance, and she was asking me this question. So what do you do if you're interested in a certain field? You start doing skill courses or certification courses to add to your skill sets, which you lacked. So you are a technology person, you want to add finance. So you start doing some courses which are to do with doing finance. And then you go into the market saying, listen, I'm a technology person who added skill sets on finance. And now I'm a, fintech kind of a person. So if you want to steer yourself away from the current career path and change direction, add a couple of skill sets that are there online, offline, or on a part-time basis, and then start changing courses. That's a possibility now, which was difficult say earlier, but now it's a good possibility.
Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Perry. There is another question on mostly civils. Actually, a lot of people asking a lot of questions on civils because, as per Maslow's hierarchy, I think a lot of kids are moving to civils now. And one guy is asking, I'm doing some engineering now. What is my backup option if I go for civils? If at all I fail, what would be my backup options?
That's a good question, because which is what I said earlier in my initial comments, that a lot of people, invest so much of themselves in civils that they won't even know what is this plan B. They have a plan A, which is saying that I want to crack IAS, and everyone knows that every year a few million people want to be civils, and 600 people or 800 people or 1,000 people get onto civils, right? Ultimately, so it is not even 0.1% or 0.01%, whatever that number is. So I would always advise people that you must give yourself reasonable time to crack civils, and if that doesn't happen, you must move on to the next level, which is grade B and grade C or whatever, the grade 2, 3 and those kind of things, and that's the only way out. But more importantly, if you are only searching for a government job, increasingly my opinion is that the number of government jobs will keep coming down. So unless you have skill sets where you can be employed by private people, it will be a challenge for you.
Yeah, and the next question is on the masters in these computer sciences. They're saying since many years there are talks that MS will lose its charm. Like last 10 years we've been hearing that, okay, next 2 years this will be gone, next 2 years this will be gone, but it's not going. So how long this will continue in future?
MS in computer sciences will be evergreen, Hari. I don't see that going away any soon. I will die before MS in computer sciences go away. Let me put it that way. And that's because, increasingly the world is moving towards technology and data sciences and those kind of things, right? And increasingly, what was computer sciences earlier, in our times, it was just MCA, mind you, is now you suddenly have about 8-9 domains within technology that's come up, which is AI, blockchain, machine learning, Internet of Things, virtual reality, gaming, robotics, data analytics, and so on and so forth, right? So each of them will become a specialization as we move along, and from that specialization, something else will emerge also. So I don't see MS in computer sciences going anywhere. It will always be there. It is just that the specializations will keep expanding, and you will keep expanding to that direction. And the master's is always a specialization, mind you. At a bachelor's level, you can always say what happens next. But at a master's level, some of these things will keep growing for the simple reason that you're going to specialize in a field which is in demand. So I don't see that going anywhere.
Yeah. And the next one is on the humanities. Why is it now there is no charm for these humanities? And can we plan a career option on these humanities sciences?
No, humanities is too broad a subject. So I won't respond to that unless I know what humanities are we talking of, right? There are for example, you take arts as a broad spectrum, right? Within the broad spectrum of arts, you actually have sociology, you have psychology, which is seen as an art at times and at times as a science. And then you have linguistics that is expanding, because increasingly there communication is becoming bigger and bigger. And within linguistics, you have foreign languages. You have a university called Indian Institute of English and Foreign Languages, which is one of the best universities in the country. It has been established only on linguistics. So I don't see that you actually as arts as a spectrum, the importance of arts is growing so much that you actually have liberal arts universities that have started only with the purpose of not offering any STEM courses. So Ashoka University, which is the best in the country, Kriya University, Flame University, all these universities have been established as liberal arts universities. Of course, they offer sciences, but they also offer science, arts. So from my perspective, the arts as a spectrum is only expanding. The only problem is when we think that, would MA in history would work or whether MA in civics would work. That's a different game altogether. But if you look at a broad spectrum called arts, it will only expand.
Yeah, for an example, I know a guy, a senior journalist, I think he's 60 years old, who recently was employed by Microsoft.
Absolutely.
For the linguistic job.
Yeah.
The next question is your favorite sport. Cricket. Is sport an option for students?
Yeah, that's one of the questions.
Sport is a passion, it's not an option.
No, is it a career option today, given IPL and EPL and all these things?
No, that's what I'm saying. See, you actually have MBA in sports management that is on, because a lot of companies are investing in sports and all. But again, I always tell people that don't slot yourself that you would not be able to do anything else other than that, right? Even a MBA would be able to do sports management. So
no,
why do you want to do
MBA? It's not about
sports
management. It's about sport as a career.
Which again, that's a passion. It's not an option. You don't make a career out of a sport. You actually pursue it because you believe in it. So you're a cricketer or you're not a cricketer. You are a footballer or you're not a footballer. You don't pursue it because you want to make a career in that. You do that because you want to play that and you want to die playing that. So some of these things, it can be fine arts or sports or anything. They're a work of passion. They are not an option to make a career. That's not how it works.
May I add something on that, sir?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, because as you see in the last 2 decades, the amount of the commercialization of the sports and environment, one of the things is quite exciting to the youngsters. But having said that, it's a quite competitive field. Unless you have a backup plan, people won't necessarily suggest to make that as a career plan. You can, but the coaching starts as early as even 6 or 7 years old. So it's a difficult choice. As rightly sir said, it has to be passion, but unfortunately in the current modern world, it has become a commercialized profession. Yeah. Sorry, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Mr. Berry, I'll ask the last question today before you close up your closing session.
Sure.
What made you start up?
Start up in the end.
Oh, that's a long story. See, I'll broadly tell you what happens. I was the publisher for Outlook, and Outlook was one of the most influential magazines when I was publishing it. And during that, I realized that most media entities, they create media entities from the perspective of power. So it's a power play. What do they cover? They cover politics because it gives them a sense of power. They cover business because it gives them a sense of power. They cover celebrities because it gives them a sense of power. Do they cover a farmer? No. Do they cover religion with the depth that it requires? No. And even education, they used to cover from the perspective of the institution, because the institution gives a press release saying 100% placement. They say IIM has placed 1 crore students at a 1 crore package, which is what the news that comes out. What doesn't come out is that the bottom 20% of IIM Lucknow have possibly not been placed, because that is not a institute handout. It's not a something that comes to you from the institution side, and you don't go around searching for a student who has not been placed, though he studied in the IIM or an IIT for that matter. So that's a broad thing for me. So I realized that the 3 big things that people need are health, religion, and education. Religion, because of it's that's how people grow in the sense, right? They wake up with religion and they wake up with health, and they need a career and a job. And none of the mainstream publications have a journalist who covers theology, health, or education with the depth that it requires. I don't believe in religion the way the world believes in it. I don't understand health as much as others would want to. And I understand, the education, the way career and education much more than many others. So which is where I created this enterprise.
So, Mr. Perry, you can give your closing remarks.
So I think thank you so much for inviting me. I can tell you one thing, that I'm proud alumni of APRJC and APRDC. And the reason why I say this is that my entire perspective of the world is largely because of the kind of place that I studied in, where I faced every kind of person, dealt with every kind of a person, and today I'm in touch with most of my classmates, so to say. At this point in time, your only responsibility is to understand and the society around you through the small set of class friends that you have. But don't give up on anything because you don't have money. Don't think that you don't have financial ability so you cannot study. Those are all excuses that you're looking at. If you want to study, the world is very big, very broad, with a very, very big chest. Every good student is being funded. Every good university prefers students who have fantastic merit. Every good college in the country would want to have brilliant people to be studying with them. So from that perspective, what you is an inability on one side, you make it up from the other side in terms of your effort. If you have the effort, if you put in the effort and you have the right intent, then the world will welcome you with open arms. So don't ever look for an excuse, search for an opportunity so that you can succeed. That's my only advice to each of you, because I keep looking at universities around me who are wanting us to search for students who are brilliant and they could actually fund them. So I will close it from that perspective. I'll be more than happy to, at some point in time, come back again and answer some of your questions. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Perry. We will try to answer some questions, whatever that are coming from attendees. If we cannot answer, we'll reach out to you again.
Yeah.
Probably we'll schedule another session based on the demand.
I'll be more than happy to do that, Hari. Not an issue at all.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for all attendees. Hope to connect soon again.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.